everybody, it's me, Miss Yu, and we are going to start and go over the second part of our geometry review. We're going to talk about the angles of a polygon, and we talk about all polygons. The sum of the interior angle goes by the formula 180 n minus 2, where n is equal to the number of sides. Okay? The sum of the exterior angles is equal to 360. I want to add a couple of pieces of information. I want to remind you that interior plus exterior is equal to 180. And I also want to remind you another way to get the sum of the interior angles is to divide up a polygon into triangles. So just to remind you, I'm just going to draw a pentagon and divide it up, and all we do is 180 for each triangle. For a regular polygon, we say each interior angle, so instead of the sum being 180, we're looking for just one angle, so we're going to divide it by, I believe this should be n. We're going to divide it by n, so I'm going to go 180 n minus 2 divided by n. Okay, we're dividing it by the number of sides, and each exterior angle is going to be 360 divided by n. Now we're going to find the sum of the interior angles of a 25-sided polygon. That means n is equal to 25. I get 180, 25 minus 2 over 25 is equal to 165.6 degrees. Okay, that is after I put it in the calculator, and I want to remind you, you do parentheses first, and this becomes 23. Okay. Now, what if the sum of the measured angles of interior angle have 1620 degrees? How many sides does it have? So we're going to go 1620 is equal to 180 n minus 2, and we're going to work backwards. First step, divide by 180. Okay. This becomes 9 is equal to n minus 2, and now we're going to add 2 to each side, and I'm going to say 11 is equal to n. And that is how we found out the number of sides. What about what is the measure of each interior angle of a 15-gon? So each interior angle, we're going to go 180 n minus 2. That's the sum of all of them, divided by the number of sides, n. Okay? And n is equal to 15 in this case. And when you plug it in, you get 180 times 13 over 15. And that is equal to 156 degrees. So now we're looking for each exterior angle of a regular hexagon. Hexagon is 6 sides. An exterior angle, they add up to an exterior angles, they add up to 360. So I'm going to go 360 divided by 6 is equal to 60 degrees. Okay, this is equal to the exterior angle, and the interior angle is 120 degrees. Okay. Number 5, if an interior angle of a regular polygon measures 140 degrees, how many sides does it have? So if the interior, how I like to do it, there's a couple of ways to do it. If the interior angle of a regular polygon measures 140, that means I'm going 180 n minus 2 divided by n is equal to 140. Okay. I'm going to multiply n on both sides, and the n's cancel over here, and now I'm going to distribute over here. So I have 120 n minus 360 360 is equal to 140n. Okay, when you subtract 140, you get 40n is equal to 360. 40n is equal to 360. And now I'm going to divide both sides by 40. I get n is equal to 9. An easier way to do this, if the interior angle is 140, you could also say the exterior angle, this is just a side bubble, exterior angle is 40, and now you could go 40 is equal to 360n. I find that method a little bit easier, but you will get the same answer. Okay. When you cross multiply, I get 360 is equal to 40n. Let's do number 6. If the exterior angle of a regular polygon measures 15 degrees, how many sides does it have? So now we're going to do the exterior angle, 360 divided by n is equal to 15. I'm going to make it 15 over 1, and I'm going to cross multiply. Okay, 15n is equal to 360. I'm going to divide both sides by 15, and I get n is equal to 24. And now I talked about this briefly. We want the sum in degrees of the measure of the interior angles of the polygon. This is our polygon. You could do it two ways. This is the second way to do it, where you divide your shape. You go to each of the vertices. The lines cannot cross, and each of them are 180 degrees. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 180 is equal to 900 degrees. So now we're going to see how to do it a different way with the formula. And now we're going to count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a 7-sided figure. So now I know n is equal to 7, 180, 7 minus 2, okay, 180 times 5, and I end up the same answer, 900. This is method 2. Okay. Now we're going to find the value of x. Step 1, we need to figure out the interior angles of a polygon, of this polygon. How much do they all add up to? So I have 3, 1, 2, 3 triangles. I'm going to go 180 times 3. I got 540 degrees. So everything, all of the angles added together become 540. Don't forget that this is 90 degrees. It's easy to forget. And now we're going to add 4x plus 19 plus 9x minus 8 plus 90 plus 122. And I think I'm going to go 7x minus 3. And that's all equal to 540. I'm going to add up all the numbers first. So my numbers add up to 90 plus 122 minus 8 plus 19 minus 3. When I put that in the calculator, I end up with 90 plus 122 plus 19 minus 3 minus 8. I end up with 220. So I get 540 is equal to 220. And now I'm going to add up all the x's, all the coefficients of the variables. Okay. And I have 16 plus 4 is 20x. I'm now going to subtract 220. I get 320 is equal to 20x. I'm going to divide both sides by 20, and I end up with 32 divided by 2, because I canceled the zeros, just divided each side by 10, and I get 16 is equal to x. Okay? And let's turn the page and see what we have to do next. Oh, I do like this one. As you do this, I want you to think about it. We know opposite sides are parallel are true for all of these shapes. Opposite sides are congruent are true for all of these shapes. Diagonals bisect each other. Those are true for all of these shapes. Opposite angles are congruent. That is true for all of these shapes. Consecutive angles are supplementary. That is true for all of these shapes. Okay. And now let's look at the next one. Diagonals are congruent only if the angles are 90 degrees. Okay. 90-degree angles. You must have, that has to be present only in a rectangle and a square. Diagonals are perpendicular, all the same sides. All sides have the same length. That means the diagonals will be perpendicular. That's for a rhombus and a square. And lastly, diagonals bisect them. And again, that is also only true for a rhombus and a square. And that is the table. Now we're going to do this one. This drawing gets a little crowded. I wish I made it a little longer, so I'm going to zoom in. EC, I'm going to look, EC. Let's start off with EB is 16. EB, if this is 16, then that is 16. So let's look, DCD, 16. ED is 25. That means BC is also 25. Let's look over here. BF. BF is 11. That means FD is 11. Okay. And EC is 34. EC is 34. That means each side is 17. Okay. So this is a parallelogram. And let's look, BD. BD is 11 plus 11. That's 22.
The following students, please come to the main office. Josh Al, Jasmine Paradis, Jake Picaridi, and Jake Verity. Please come to the main office.
Sorry about that. FC is 17. And that is our answer over here. Now let's look at the angles. BED is 55. Let me see. BED. This is 55. Okay. So it's both angles are 55. CDB is 67. CDB is 67. Okay. And BCE, whereas BCE is 24. There I am, 24, 67. Okay, here we go. So we know that opposite angles are congruent. So let's start off with what we're looking for. EDC. EDC. So we know that angles next to each other add to 180. So I have 55 plus angle EDC EDB plus 67 is equal to 180. Okay. So both of these angles together is 180, and I'm going to use this value over here as my x. Okay. So 55 plus 67 is equal to 122 plus angle EDB is equal to 180. And that means I have 58 degrees. Angle EDB is equal to 58 degrees. Okay. So I'm going to put that in over here. 58 degrees. Okay. That means 67 plus 58 will give us our angle EDC. And that is 125 degrees. Now we want angle EBD, EBD, and all we have to do is alternate interior. Here we go, alternate interior. Okay, and we know that is 60, that should be 67 degrees. Next, we're going to go BEC, 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 and I know opposite angles are congruent, so I'm going to go 55 is equal to 24 plus y, and I'm going to put a little y over here. Okay. And I'm going to get 31 degrees. Once I have 31 degrees, I'm going to go DBC. Okay. DBC. Let me see, where is DBC? Is 58 degrees when you do alternate interior. And there is the answer key. Let's go on to the next one. I hope you were able to do it on your own and then just check your answers where you didn't understand. Now let's look over here. Okay. This one is more straightforward. I have 31 and 31. Okay. KN is 45. I know angle L is 119. I know angle K is equal to angle M. And I know 119 plus angle M is equal to 180. And I get 61 degrees. Okay. And that question is done. Let's look at this one over here. ABCD is a rectangle. AD is 9. So that means BC is 9. AC is 22. That means each piece is 11. And BCA is 66. Okay. That means this angle over here is 90 minus 66, because we know rectangles have corners that are 90 degrees, and that's 24. Okay, so now let's take a look. This is 11, and that's 11, because the diagonals bisect each other. Okay, and let's see. They want to know what AB is, and I think in order to do that, in order to figure out what AB is, you have to use Pythagorean. If this is 9, this is AB or BC. This is actually DC. Okay, and this is 22. So now I could go 9 squared plus AB squared is equal to 22 squared. Okay. That means I get 81 plus AB squared is equal to 484. I'm going to subtract 81 from that. I'm going to get 403, and then I'm going to do the square root. AB squared is equal to 403. And that means when I do the square root, I end up with a number that's very close to 20. So AB is equal to 20. Okay. BD is equal to 9. BD is equal to 22. EC is equal to 11. And those are the sides that we needed to find. Now let's find ADC. ADC, of course, is 90 degrees. BAC, this is 24. Again, because of alternate interior angles. Also, we have congruent angles, 24 and 24. Okay, 66, 66, 66, and 66. So I have 24, CDB, yeah, CDB, that's 24. And then the last one, AEB, is, of course, 180 minus 24 minus 24, which gives us 132. And that's the inside angle, AEB. AEB. That's the triangle that we're looking at. Okay, here we go. And now let's look at this. This is a rhombus. That means all the sides are equal. For A, if NK is 7 and KL is 15, so we know all the sides are equal. So where's NK? NK is 7. Okay, that means this is 7. It means we have a 90-degree angle over here for a rhombus. And KL is 15. That means all the sides for a rhombus are 15. Again, you need to use Pythagorean. And for A, I'm going to say 7 squared plus NL squared is equal to 15 squared. I have NL squared is equal to 176. That's after I do. This is 225 minus 49 gives us 146. And that the square root of NL squared is equal to square root of 176, which is equal to 13.2. I have 13.2 as my answer. Now let's look at, to figure out what L is. Let's see, where is KM, LMK, LMK. Okay. L, M, K. Okay. And I also have L, J, M, K. J, J, M, K. So what is the relationship of those two angles? Those angles are bisected, and so now we're going to say that these two are equal each other. 8x minus 13 is equal to 4x plus 19. I'm going to subtract 4 at this is B, 4x from both the sides. I get 4x minus 13 is equal to 19. I'm adding 13 to both sides, and I'm going to get 4x is equal to 32. Dividing by 4, I wrote 14, but it's 4. I get x is equal to 8. And here I go, x is equal to 8. So that is our unit on quadrilaterals and degrees of a polygon. It is quite long, but I find this unit a lot of work, but straightforward. I hope you do too.